It's finally here, guys. Papa Scooperia is coming out on July 24th. So we have some very big news. We have the answer to perhaps the single biggest question on everyone's mind. And indeed it is. It took so long for them to announce this release date. And I've been waiting and waiting. And in fact, I'm on vacation right now to see when I was going to be able to make this video that I always tend to make, at least most of the time, what I do think about the next game that you're making. And yeah, here we are. Papa Scooperia is coming out in just 5 days, and here I am trying to make this video for the third time now, because I realized that my recording was pretty bad when I did just have a small screen. So I just decided to show the whole window, and yeah, let's just go very down here. Okay, first I actually need to okay, where's the map? The map's right here. I need to go to previews first, because there's so many previews. There's an insane amount of previews of this game. I think there's maybe 30 previews or something like that. At least it feels like there's an insane amount. I mean, they started with this preview massacre in January 16th, and here we are. It's July 19th today, but they announced it 2 days ago. So yeah, pretty insane. They have a lot of previews, so let's just start with the very first one. Here we have the Papaloid Pals release date as well. That kind of shows us how many previews they've actually chosen. So yeah, pretty crazy indeed. Alright, a lot of interesting stuff here, which I just can't wait to talk about. So soon as we get to the very first one, which I believe is this one. Okay, not this one, but this one. The next gamer will be Papa's Scooperia. It's official. Papa's next restaurant will be Papa Scooperia. We're taking 2 of our biggest fan suggested foods, cookies and ice cream, and combining them into one super delicious game. Very cool concept. I am definitely a big fan of it. One of the things is that Scooperia was a dinner game, so it does make sense that they would try to put a dessert game. They've kind of done it like that, I think. Maybe not in the very beginning, but eventually they wanted to get some sweet foods in it, and I do believe this is a very nice concept. It's not very easy to think of, like what is the next type of foods that we can do, because they've basically done every single food almost, where you can have a lot of toppings, at least as far as I can think about. Maybe you guys have a better idea. So here we are with Papa Scooperia coming out next. I mean, they just keep coming, do they? I believe this will be the 14th gamer, or even the 15th. I don't have the count. There have been so many. I honestly wish, though, and I know my buddy Miles Leffman, he agrees with it, that they probably should have announced it a little bit later, so you didn't need those unnecessary sneak peeks that we're gonna get into at the very end of this video. There were so many sneak peeks that were like, oh man, it's just another one of those sneak peeks, right? That's there because it's a sneak peek, but what they're showing is just not interesting enough. Anyway, let's move on to the next sneak peek, which will be down here, I believe. And indeed, this is just showing what you are gonna make, because a lot of people did not understand what a cookie sundae meant, and this is what it looks like. So pretty cool. It seems like there will be a lot of stuff to do, which is nice, and it looks delicious, of course. And there's nothing really more to say about it, other than it's a very cool concept that they have decided to do. So that is everything I'm gonna say about that. It's nothing special about it, because it's basically the same as just announcing what the game is. But looks pretty cool and mouth-watering as well. Alright, so let's just move on here, skipping some Papaloid Pal stuff. And here is the first here is the location of the Scooperia game, which is Onion Town. A lot of people have been wondering what Onion Town actually looks like. Gives me a little bit of a kind of a rural city vibe, if that makes sense, because of all of the brick walls and stuff like that, and the tagging. You can see number 14 right there. It seemed like also Alan, he was actually in Onion Town for a little while, and that was how he got his new look, because he was bullied. Some interesting lore, if I can call it that, but yeah. All in all, pretty cool, even though I've never bothered too much about the area. It looks cool, so happy with that. Click the image above for a larger view. We can obviously do that. Here you can see it way better, actually. Looks very, very nice, and yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about that. There's nothing special to say about it, but cool location indeed. So some more Papaloo stuff things right here before we're moving on to Carlo Romano and Coily, I believe her name is. What is her name? Yeah, Coily, that's her name. And the uniforms look very cool. You do notice the little cookie and Coily's hair. Another sweet addition. I'm definitely gonna play as Carlo Romano for this game because, sorry about that, he has been one of my favorite customers throughout the whole series, so I'm very much looking forward to play as him. So yeah, I'm not gonna make my custom character this time. Alright, so that is that for this page apparently. So let's move on to the next one. Alright. So now I do believe things will get more interesting right now, and indeed it is. Alright, so a few weeks back we showed you what a cookie sundae would look like. So we just looked at that, and customers will now have evolving orders. When a new customer first comes in, they will order a small cookie sundae with 1 cookie and 1 scoop of ice cream. However, things change once you level up your customer to bronze. For those that don't know, a customer will level up to bronze when you serve them the correct order 5 times in a row. 5 more times will level up that customer to silver, and an additional 5 more times will give them gold. So as you can see right here, the bronze customer will basically have 2 scoops of ice cream and 2 cookies, and the silver customer will have 3 scoops of ice cream and 3 cookies. This completely changes the whole game, and it makes it significantly more interesting. It makes it significantly more challenging. It really improves on what I believe has been one of my biggest issues with the game is, and they are extremely addicting, but at the same time they're not very challenging. In fact, they do go in the opposite direction as most games. They're difficult in the beginning because you don't have any equipment and you don't have any alarms and all of that, but it makes it easier as you progress. But once you progress in other games, it makes the game harder, not easier, which is the exact opposite of this game, which I find kind of funny. But yeah, here we are with Papa's Scooperia, and now it's gonna change drastically, because now it will be way harder when you do get customers on bronze. So it's actually could be an idea to try to keep as many customers like under bronze or silver in the very beginning, to stay away from those customer specials or whatever. So it could actually be a strategy which I find very, very interesting. So this is one of the best additions Flipline has ever done to a game. I'm extremely happy and excited because of this order evolution right here, which was by far my favorite sneak peek. A really, really cool addition. I can't stress enough how amazing this is. I'm really excited about this. This is what I like. I care about the gameplay. That's what I care about the most, and this is a significant improvement of the gameplay. It makes the game a lot more interesting. It makes it more fun, and yeah, as they said themselves, this evolving order system will add a fun level of challenge and slowly advances alongside your Sunday's crafting skills. Which is true, because now it will get harder as you progress, and I love this feature. I honestly wish this feature was more that it was announced before, or that it was in a previous game, but that doesn't matter right now. In Papa Scooperia, this will be a thing, and I can't wait. So now they're giving you a challenge when you do well on your customers, and I love it. So really, really cool, and this is gonna make it way, way, way harder at the very end of the game as well, because you do basically only have bronze and silver customers when you are gonna get everyone on gold, which is my final aim to this game, but no guarantee that I will get it, but at least I will try to. So that is Order Evolution. Again, amazing feature and my favorite sneak peek. So let's move on here. This time they're announcing that they're gonna do it on the web. At the same time, they're gonna do it to apps. They're gonna do apps of the game as well, and they're all gonna get it released at the very same time. So you can play it on your phone, you can play it on your tablet, and you can play it on your computer. That does make sense though, because for blind they have an issue that flash games are not really going to be a thing in the future. It's extremely unfortunate. I have talked about this before, but it means that they need to get most of the games out on tablets, and that's probably the way they are going to release their games from now on, at least from in the future on, let's say 2020, unless they find another system for the computer, which they should do when that time comes. Personally, I would suggest something just in their own page. You can just order the game and then pay for it, and then you'll get it on your computer, and you just put it in a code or something like that, like you do in a lot of other games. I've seen a lot of games like that. That is how you play it. Or they can just have it on Steam or something like that. Just something along those lines would be the way they do it in the future. And that is why they do make it on the tablets. I think it's cool. For me, it's cool, even though I do not play games on the iPhones and stuff, because the screen is too small. You can see it right here, significantly smaller than the iPad, which is by far my preference, like my biggest preference out of the two. But of course, the computer, nothing beats the computer. So computer is my first preference, but of course I prefer the HD games more than the to-go games. So this also means that they will be doing apps of the remaining games. I think it's very likely, and that is something that I find unfortunate, that's probably the games that they will release now in the future. I talked about with my friend Miles Leftman, as I did mention him earlier too, about this, and yeah, that is an issue, that they've basically been doing the same thing for how many years, like 3 years or something like that. Like before Papa Scooperia, there was basically only HD and to-go games as well. The last game that was not was Papa Louie 3. At least when it comes to platformer games, the platformer games have been for blind's best games, due to the high amount of challenge and fun behind it and rage. They're really good at making those challenging games. They have so many challenging games. They have Steak and Jake and Cactus McCoy. Jack Smith is a really cool game. It's a shame that they haven't done more of those games, because they really did an amazing job with them. But now with the Flash problem, they are, as I just said, well, at least it's very likely that they will do like Papa's Don't Want It Ready to Go or something. Another issue is that those games are pretty new, so it makes the game almost the same as the one that you played on the computer a few years back, which is not good. Now maybe with the order evolution thing it will change, but still it will be very much like the same game as you played earlier, which means that the fun is taken out very quickly. It just becomes very tedious, and I struggle to unlock every single customer in the game, and getting everyone in gold was just pointless. I have to say it right now. So because you played the game before, and when you have, it quickly becomes very tedious, because the only reason you're playing is to see the new ingredients and the new customers. But yeah, that's what I don't like about all of the mobile apps and stuff. That is the downside, that it becomes very repetitive, and it becomes tedious if you're gonna complete it. But so yeah, we will talk more about that as the sneak peeks evolve, let's say. But I'm not gonna hate on Blind for doing this, because it seems like they have no choice, which is very unfortunate. So yeah, here we are. So that's 3 versions of Papa Scooper, and 3 reasons why this game has taken an exceptionally long time to make. And that makes sense, because there's 3 games instead of 1. So they're basically releasing 3 games at the same time, kind of. Even though not quite, but kind of, I would say. Alright, so let's move on with the sneak peeks here. The next page, and there's so many. So alright, so here we are with Happy Holi, or whatever, known as the Festival of Color. Holi celebrated across most of India. It starts this evening and ends tomorrow night. People celebrate this holiday by covering each other in colorful powder and dyed water. The wild festivities usually leaves both the people and the town covering in a smattering of vivid colors. We thought today would be the perfect time to announce the holiday will make its debut as a holiday in Papa Scooperia. Indeed, that is cool that you announce it. Mindy in a holy outfit as well, which means she'll probably be the first customer you unlock in this holiday. And it March 1st, which means that there is a chance that this holiday will replace Easter, which would please me quite a lot if that's the case. One thing I guess this is a bit weird, but sometimes I just prefer secrets to be, surprises when you actually play the game instead of spoiling everything. But I suppose this is fine. It looks very cool. And it's nice that they do add more holidays, because again, holidays is another thing that gets incredibly repetitive because of Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, and Easter. My voice is failing. All of those games all of those holidays will always be there, basically. So if Holiday replaces Easter, I would be very happy, because that means we will be getting more new holidays, which is very nice. Cool holiday indeed. So yeah, we haven't seen any holiday toppings though, but I guess that's fine. At least they keep that as a secret, which is nice, of course. Okay, moving on. Let's see what we do have here. We have a new customer that's making his debut, and it's Skip. So was a rat, so that's cool too. Nothing specific, really any special to say about it. I mean, it looks cool. New nice customer addition. I just hope that he is the customer that we get to see very early in the game, that he is a closer, and that he's the only new closer that we have, which means that it will take a while before we see the next new customers, because sometimes they do announce the customers very early, which means, or the customers, they do arrive very early, which means that the 5 new customers, 3 of them pretty much after the first couple of days you've been playing, because they do come very early in the game. So hopefully that's not the case this time, even though we know 2 customers out of 5. Let's hope the last 3 do arrive fairly late. But anyway, Skip is a cool customer. I like him. So let's move on. So Papa Louis Pals is here announced, coming March 26th. That shows where we are now in the calendar. So there we are. So this is the gameplay. So this is where things do get interesting. So today we would like to show Dough Station for HD and web versions. So the Dough Station. Once you've taken your customer's order, you will head to the Dough Station. Once there, you'll choose the cookie dough for your order. In this example, we are going to scoop some fudge cookies dough. Okay. Once you choose the dough, the bin will enlarge and you'll be able to carefully scoop a ball of dough. Nice. After you've scooped out some dough, the bin will slide away to reveal the mixables. For this order, Alberta wants a peanut fudge cookie. Simply drop your scooper into the mixable bin to get a nice helping of peanuts mixed into the dough. Once that happens, the dough ball will roll on over to the bake station. Imagine how this is going to change with the order evolution. It's gonna take way more time to make orders, which is very nice. It will make it significantly harder, as I've pointed out maybe too many times right now, but anyway, really cool. It sounds like the gameplay will, at least the way that they've decided to have the gameplay, it's pretty nice. I like it. So you can see there will be lots of those here. Probably one will be a holiday type of dough. Alright, let's move on. Only Papa Louis Pals stuff apart from specials. Today we would like to show a few specials, and banana split and stracciatella cookies and cream ice cream. So specials will be 3 sundaes instead of 1, because that is the one that you have when your customer is at the lowest level. You'll only have 1, but the specials will always have 3, which I think is very interesting. I'm really glad that they did this way. So looks incredibly cool. Specials has always been a fun part of this game. On a side note, I am going to point out that I am going to show off every single special of the game. I've done that before, so every time I master a special, I'm going to make a video about it, and I'm going to show that. So yeah, I'm going to do videos on a lot of stuff for this game. A lot. Basically every sticker, at least a lot of stickers that you might have problems with, and then I'm gonna do my best to complete the game. But enough about that, let's move on. That is all of the sneak peeks for this page. Let's go to a even newer page. So hopefully Papa Louis passes out, so we can just focus on our sneak peeks here. 3 more days, 2 more days. The first 1 day left, and here we are with another sneak peek, which is the bake station. Alright, so here are your dough balls right there. Okay, nothing special it seems like. As cookies finish baking, it will drag them to a plate. If your order calls for more than 1 cookie, the plate will expand to fit up to 3 of them. That is pretty nice and very convenient. If they wanted to be very annoying, they could have made it so you need 1 cookie for each plate, but that's gonna take a lifetime once you basically have all your customers on silver stars. So yeah, very cool addition. Looks cool. Said cool so many times in this video, but there's nothing, just any specific. There's not a lot of specific things to say about this. I just like the gameplay, and yeah. So let's move on. Oh Jesus. Hey everyone, I wanted to take this week to answer the #1 question everyone has been asking: when is Scooperia coming out? So okay, so this is just a sneak peek, just saying when it's gonna come out. So this is another one of those delaying sneak peeks, even though they have a lot of information here. So several factors, as I mentioned here, they do say that the future of browser-based Flash games is looking very unclear. With most major browsers announcing an eventual end to Flash game support, we can no longer just release a web game on its own. So now we have to release Papa Scooperia along its app counterparts to give the game its best chance at success. That means we have to make 3 different versions of the game, one for the web, one for tablets, and one for mobile phones. This doesn't make sense because they are doing this for a living. This is just a business standpoint as much as it is fun for Matt and Tony. This is their job. So obviously you need to have its best chance at success. Okay, I apologize for that. That was my sister. But as I mentioned, this is a job for Matt and Tony, and they need a way to make a living, as most people, and that is why it makes sense to secure that this game will basically be able to be played for basically everywhere. So yeah, that is one reason why they are making this game for tablets and mobile phones as well, as I mentioned earlier, and also while probably they will be doing this to most of their other games like Postery and Donutry and Bakery and all of those games as well. So another thing though is that we're also building a brand new to-go game engine for our phone-based versions of Papa's Scooperia to go. We've been working with the current to-go engine since Papa's Burgeria to go. That's over 5 years ago. A lot has changed for mobile phones during that time, and the old to-go engine is getting maxed out. Making a brand new gamer engine takes a very long time, and this will basically be our 5th engine. The previous ones were pre-Taco Mio, Web, HD, and the current to go. Don't worry, we will dive into all of the bells and whistles of Papa Scooperia to go in future blog posts, which is what they did, to say the least. Alright, so back to the question at hand, when is Papa Scooperia coming out? Although we don't have a solid date yet, based on our current schedule, we're looking at the summer release. We know that seems very far away, but rest assured, we're working as fast as we can on these 3 versions of Papa Scooperia, which is what happened. This is roughly midsummer, at least in Norway, but the vacation is over at like 1st of September in North America, so I guess it's midsummer there as well. So that is that. Very important to know the thing about the Flash games, that their future is very uncertain. It's extremely sad. I've heard several things. I'm not sure what to believe, but as I said, I do think that most of the games won't be available eventually, which is a shame. So this is Amy visiting Papa Scooperia, the customer that won the customer Palooza. Nothing special in my opinion. Okay, that's kind of funny, but yeah, that is just another sneak peek to, you know, drag the time out a little bit, as they are gonna do in a lot of the sneak peeks we're gonna be looking at now. So unfortunately we didn't want to show you what she orders for Valentine's Day, so instead we gave her a single scoop of strawberry. Sorry, Amy. Alright. Alright, let's move on here to the build station, which is a lot more interesting. This week we're finally showing up the build station for Papa Scooperia. When you first arrive in the build station, your baked cookie will slide up front, while the freezer in the back will open to reveal the ice cream bins. Nice. Once you select an ice cream, the bin will rise up, the freezer will close, and your handy scooper will slide in. Slowly drag your scooper around the perimeter of the ice cream bin. Make sure you don't go too fast, or you might mess up the size of the scoop. Once you've finished scooping your ice cream, the bin will slide away and you will be able to drop the scoop onto your cookie. And that is when you will be placing all the other toppings as well, as you can see right there. Honestly though, it doesn't seem like there's so many. Okay, there's a lot of scoops, but here it doesn't seem like there's so many toppings, but probably because of the screenshots. The screenshot. But yeah, very cool. The gameplay looks amazing. It looks pretty cool, and I'm very curious to see how it is going to play out in just 5 days. So that is it about the gameplay, and yeah, this is when all of the to-go sneak peeks arrive. to my frustration. But yeah, so basically though, as they are saying here, for the new engine, we're making it compatible with all sorts of mobile phone screen sizes and shapes. This includes the iPhone X, which introduces a whole new range of design challenges. Along with this, the new to-go engine visuals be crisper, a typo right there, and more detailed, just like their tablet counterparts. With the new engine comes a few extra additions like stickers with capital letters. Below is a good example of Papa Scooperia to go running on an iPhone X. So I can't say that it looks bad. It looks pretty good. That is no doubt about that. And the stickers will be making its debut in the phone versions, while they will also be present in the HD version. Okay. My screen is slightly messed up here. I have literally no idea how this happened. That's what happens when you don't have a mouse. The computer just does things when you have a mouse. Anyway, so apart from that, they do show off all of the things you can do with in the new mobile app. As I've said, I do not usually play with the mobile app, especially when I can play on the computer and the iPad, because the screen is just too small. But also, I have an iPod. I don't even have an iPhone, which doesn't mean that the screen will be very small and it's just not appealing to me. But I can understand that it's appealing for a lot of others. For instance, here they've added a lot of new clothes, for instance. They've added custom workers, that's right. So they've added custom workers as well, and you know, this is May 1st. This was one of the few things that just really made me a little bit salty, which is the parade, which I just think is not interesting at all. I honestly couldn't care less. I hardly watched the parade with the computer as well, but I understand why they did it to, you know, show off some more of the location and stuff. Again, I really gotta apologize for the screen. I have absolutely no idea what happened. Okay, there we go. I didn't know that you could actually do that. Very interesting. I can just grab that. That was what I did by accident. Very nice. Alright, so that is the parade and custom workers. Nothing special to say about it, because we've had those features for a very long time in the computer versions, which means I'm not really gonna go through it so detailedly. But anyway, I think it's cool that they are adding more features there, even though I will not be playing the mobile version because of reasons that I've stated. So here we do have customer outfits as well, which is basically what you get once you do unlock all of the stickers, which is again not really that interesting because we've had that for a long time too. So we also changed the credits section to a settings section. It also has the credits in there as well. Pretty easy, just 2 people to credit. Yeah, Tony has a sense of humor. Man, I love Tony. Pretty funny guy. I haven't talked to him personally though, because in the forum I mostly Matt is the one that's active. Both of them are very cool, very nice as well. Okay, so they're just saying that they've improved several sections, the help section and things like that. And this is the gameplay with the phone, you know, special delivery. Alright, now Papa Scooperia to go will allow you to hire a delivery driver, while Papa Scooperia HD and web will let you hire a dining room server. Interesting. That's pretty interesting that they've decided to change that up, but I guess it makes sense. Or maybe they just wanted it to have it a little bit differently. Yeah, because in this picture you can see the phone here, which is probably more convenient gameplay wise. Alright. So here we have the gameplay. We've gone through that already. It's basically the same thing, but on the phone. And again, basically the same thing, but we can see a new type of order here. For instance, the banana at the very top. Very cool. Very, very cool. And you can see some more ingredients. Maybe that's M&M's. Looks like it at least. Alright, and here's the shopping to go to. There's so many to go sneak peeks. And this is already June 13th, which means we're getting closer to the release date. So it happened roughly a month afterwards. So a new scrolling system and stuff like that again for the phone. And once again, I'm not really that interested in it because I will be playing the HD and web version of the game. So here is the launch date, which means we're getting at the very end of this video. So you can see this is the lobby editor as well. A lot of stuff here. There's so many things that they've decided to post. But once again, I must apologize. But anyway, we are getting to the very end of this video, and I do believe there is nothing special to show here. We have the customer coupons as well, which will also be making its debut in the to-go game, which just shows how much work they've put into the to-go engine and all of that. And it does look pretty damn good. Can't deny that, even though I will not play it with the phone. It looks pretty damn good. So amazing job with Frontline right there. And here is the gameplay, as we've also taken a look at. Slightly different with the phone version, but still looks pretty similar. And basically here is the order complete. That is just another thing to drag it out a little bit, and that is the sneak peek, the launch date right here. So perfectly timed by Flip Line Studios as always. They really know how to make those sneak peeks stuff. Honestly, I wish they would have gone a little bit, they would have delayed it a little bit with the announcement, but here we are finally on the July 17th, roughly 7 months later. Amazingly, we are here with the sneak peek, and the game is out in just 5 days. So I am going to make a video of every single sticker, at least most of the stickers. As I've said, the specials, and I will be getting basically 100%. And hopefully you will be watching this walkthrough that I'm going to do. At least stay tuned for more. Once again, I want to emphasize how amazing I think the Order Evolution sneak peek is, and how that new edition is really going to change up things quite a lot. So I want to emphasize that is by far my favorite edition. Anyway, I'm very excited for this, and I can't wait to play this game. So anyway, if you've made it at the very end of this video, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in just 5 days when we will be making the very first video of Papa's Scooperia. See you then.